Hello, all of you marvelously good-looking people. This is a beginner's guide to Heroic Scarlet Halls, so the other Scarlet dungeon. So we start with the first boss here, Houndmaster Braun, and he does a couple things here that are kind of important to take note of, so listen up, but not really. Basically, this fight essentially is a tank and spank. All you do is you make sure the tank is at aggro and everything, and then just AoE everything down. That's all it is. Healers, this fight specifically is a little bit more geared towards you because he does a couple things where he'll, like, for example, piercing throw. He'll throw one of his knives and he'll deal a little bit of physical damage, but then that'll also put bloody mess on that person, which does even more physical damage, and then death blossom, which does even more physical damage. Overall, people will be taking a lot of dots in this fight, so healers, just make sure you're keeping up with the health of everyone because he does this to random people, and if someone's going down low on health, just make sure you toss them a little bit of a heal. Another thing he does is he spawns these dogs, as you're seeing in this fight, and they'll don't focus them down, just AoE them down. AoE them down. Stay on the boss though. If you have AoEs to spare, go ahead and do that. Even tanks by themselves can probably. Oh my goodness, my keys made a lot of noise. I'm sorry. The tanks can probably just take those dogs down by themselves. But if you have, like, for example, me, I have a whirlwind to spare. If I have enough rage, I'll use it. So if you have an AoE you can courteously use, go ahead and do that. But the last thing to note about this boss is that at 50% he has a soft enrage, wherein his attacks he attacks 50% faster and inflicts 25% more damage. So just a heads up to tanks and healers. That might be, if you're not as well geared, that's probably a good time to pop some of your cooldowns. Healers, that might be a good time to throw on a little bit more heals on the tank. But overall, a pretty simple fight when you get into this place. And so that has been Houndmaster Braun, the first fight in Scarlet Halls. And also his dogs turn on him and kill him and stuff. But let's go to the next boss, shall we? The second boss in this instance is Armsmaster Harlan. Now this is a boss that gives a lot of people trouble because of one mechanic that I'll get to in a second. But things you have to know is do not stand in front of the boss because he does a melee attack in front of him, so only the tank should be in front of him. And he also spawns Scarlet Defenders periodically throughout the fight, which you should not focus until he does his Whirlwind. His Whirlwind is the part that always messes people up. Let me preface this by saying if you get caught in the Whirlwind, which by the way has a wonky radius, like you could be across the room sometimes. I'm just kidding. It basically, sometimes when you don't think you're going to get hit by it, you get hit by it, so just be careful. If you get hit by it, you will die. If you get touched by it, you're going to get caught in it and you're going to die. So as he's doing that right now, I believe. Yeah, he jumps in the middle of the room, and then he's going to start spinning up, and he's going to pick, there's two stairs that he can go through. As you see, he's going to the right set of stairs, and he's going to follow that path all the way around. He's going to come down the other set of stairs he didn't go down. Now, whatever way you want to do this is up to you, but one way that I'd simply do it, if we're for example, if you're doing the strat we're doing here, where we're fighting up by here, and I almost get caught in it, like, that was bad on my part. But if you're doing the strat we're doing here, so if you're standing up by that ledge there, when he jumps in the middle, just run to the side where I went, and then when he picks a side, just jump down into the middle of the platform, and you'll be fine. If you're fighting him, a lot of other groups like to fight him right at the top of this entire room, and then when he jumps down in the middle and starts going up, then they jump down. Whatever it is, just make sure that you're not anywhere near his blades of light, because that will kill you. And I'm not really sure how another way that I can explain this to make it easier for you. But I think he does it one more time. Yeah. So as you see, he goes, and then he goes in the middle, and then I run to one of the sides. As you see, I'm running to one of the sides, and be very careful. If you're running to the sides, you can still get hit by it if he goes by the stairs. So once he goes up the stairs, we just jump down, and that's it. That's really all you gotta do. It depends on where you are, though, that you jump down. But like that doesn't make sense, what I just said. But like regardless of where you are, you're always going to jump down into the middle. Even if you're fighting at the top, if you're fighting where I am, even if you're fighting in the middle itself, you just run away from him and then you'll win. It's a very simple fight if you know what you're doing. A lot of groups will wipe here like thousands of times. I've had it happen to me. So now you know what you're doing. Yay. The final boss in this instance is Flameweaver Koegler, and this is a pretty simple fight as well. One thing he does is you'll see a red beam come out of him, and he's going to be shooting that at one of the bookcases in the room. You want to stand in that, or else the bookcase is going to ignite, and there's going to be a nice big pulse of fire on the ground that kind of limits where you can go in this fight. But it's not. But if you don't, like he's doing it right now, if you don't. If one of the bookcases, I think it happens in this video actually, one of the bookcases catches on fire, it's not that big of a deal if one or even two catches fire, but just try not to have that happen. So this is one of the main things he does. It's called Dragon Breath, and when he does that, he goes in the middle of the room, and he'll start doing Dragon's Breath, and you'll go, I believe it's always clockwise that the boss will do this, so just make sure you're not sitting in front of that, because if it hits you, it does quite a bit of damage, but it also stuns you, or disorients you for like 4 or 5 seconds, and it's very annoying. So that's, yeah, there you go, it just starts pulsing fire the entire time, so it kind of limits what you can do where in the room. So yeah, next thing, he also does 2 spells. One is called Fireball Volley, and the other one's Pyroblast. Both of those are interruptible. I don't know if I made any sense. Both of those are interruptible. It just sounded really weird, like I stumbled over all my words. But if you can interrupt them, I'd do it. Pyroblast does more damage overall, so I'd interrupt that if you only have 1 interrupt. But other than that, that's it for this fight. Just stand in the beam for Book Burner, and if you don't, just don't stand in the fire. And as you see, I'm getting hit by Dragon's Breath, so don't get hit by Dragon's Breath when it happens, or else you get like disoriented for a few seconds, as well as take a bit of damage, and it makes your healer have to heal unnecessary damage. And interrupt Fireball Volley and Pyroblast. Pyroblast obviously having priority over Fireball Volley. So, yep, that has been Scarlet Hall's Heroic Beginner's Guide. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it's been helpful. Share this video. Link down below for the playlist and just my stream and Twitter and all that. I love your faces. Have a great day. You're beautiful. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.